Howdy, partners. Howdy, partners. Today I'm going to show you how to create a classic Western duel scene entirely in After Effects. We've just added 3 new collections to our Worlds pack. It's a massive library that lets you easily extend your sets in any video software. This technique is known as matte painting, and it's been used for decades in the film industry. But it's always been very time-consuming and challenging to achieve realistic results. This is why we built a collection of over 6,000 assets you can simply drag and drop into your shots to create epic new worlds. Today we're going to focus on our Western collection, so let's jump into After Effects and build an awesome Western scene. Alright, so we have this cool shot of 2 cowboys shooting each other, and we want to put some cool stuff in the background to really sell that this is a Western. So the first thing we're going to do is we have to track the shot, and there's a couple ways you can do it. In this one, I think we're going to 2D track it, so let's do that. So how you do that is you make sure your shot is selected, and we're going to go over here to the Tracker tab, and if you can't find it, you can go to Window and then click Tracker, which is right here, and then we're going to hit Track Motion. We're going to just track the position, but if you click Rotation and Scale, you can also track those things as well. But we're just going to do position, which will just give us 1 point to work with here. All right, so scrubbing through the video, we need to find a point that's where we want to put the objects, right? So let's say we want to put our matte paintings around here. That's where we want to track. So if we track down here, the track wouldn't line up, or if we tracked back here. So we need to find it in a general, the same spot that it would be. And we also have to make sure it's not obstructed the entire time. I think this spot right here is really good. And remember that this is for, like, you need to find a spot that has a good amount of contrast. This doesn't have a great amount of contrast, but there's enough distinguishing pixels to for After Effects to track it. So if I think that's a good spot, because let's scrub through and make sure that that point never gets obstructed by the guys. Oh, it just barely, so it's perfect. It's perfect. So let's track this. And this point right here is what it's tracking. So if this is bigger, it's going to take longer, but there's more information. And this is where it's searching for. So let's say in the next frame, it jumped really fast and it's over here now. You would need to make this a much bigger search area. So let's just click Analyze. So it'd be over here in your tracker properties, and you'll just click this. And wow, it tracked so fast and I didn't even have to do anything. So now that it's tracked, we need to put this motion data onto something so we can actually put it onto something. So you'd probably think like, oh, let me drop in my asset and apply it to that. No, what you want to do is add something called a null object. So if you go to Layer, New, Null Object, and that will be over in your composition, not in your layer tab. This is just a empty object that will not be rendered in your shot, and will be able to add motion data to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this motion data. So I'm going to select it and go to Edit Target. And then we're going to click the null we just created and hit OK. And now you have to remember to apply it and apply the correct dimensions, which is X and Y. You want both of them. And hit OK. So now if we notice this, I'm going to change the color of it because it is not easily read. So you can see that it's actually following the point that we tracked, which is really helpful. Awesome. So we can drag our stuff in if we want, and it's really big. Here's the problem. If we put our stuff in the background, it's going to be in front of our guys here. So what we're going to want to do is rotoscope. So what is rotoscoping? It's basically just cutting out people so you can sandwich stuff in between to put behind it, right? So what we're going to do is hit Control D or Command D on a Mac, or you can go to Layer, is it edit duplicate? Yeah, edit duplicate. And also you can notice all of the beautiful shortcuts right here. And so what we're going to want to do is have this duplicated layer be a rotoscope layer, and then we'll put our sheriff's office and our windmill that we're going to add later in between it, so that the rotoscope layer will be on top. So how do we rotoscope? There's a bunch of ways, but the fastest way is using the Rotobrush tool. So we're going to select the Rotobrush tool, and we're going to double click on our duplicated layer. And what we're going to do, it will give you this brush here, and you're going to want to brush in what you want to select here. So if you hit Control and left click and drag, you can make your brush bigger or smaller. I'm just going to make it a little smaller just so I can get more detail. And I'm just going to brush in what I need here. Both of these guys. It might be smarter to do them separately, but I'm going to do them both at the same time. We'll see what happens. So basically, this is just the first thing you're going to want to do, and it's doing its best to guess what you're trying to rotoscope. And usually it's pretty good. And then another thing you can do is hit Alt on your keyboard, and that's for Windows. It might be Option in Mac. And that will make it red, and you can delete things that it's selecting. So like see here that it's selecting the background, but we don't want that. And then we could just brush away things, and then we could brush back in things just like that. Super, super awesome stuff. Rotobrush tool is awesome. Then what we are going to do is just hit play forward and just see the magic happen. And sometimes it will pick up stuff that you don't want, and that's all right. You can just go to that, frame that it starts to pick up stuff you don't want, brush it away, and brush back in things it might have deleted, and then play it forward again. And Rotobrush does a pretty awesome job. And then once you're all done, you want to hit freeze. And what that does is basically means it's going to freeze all of this stuff, so it's not going to change later. It's like, this is what it's rotoscoping, and that's what I like about it. All right, so it is now done, and now you can see that they are in front of the sheriff's building here because we rotoscoped it. Now, what I did was I actually rendered out the rotoscope file as an alpha layer just for speed and sake of this. Like, I already did this stuff. Now we have the issue of, this thing's not tracked in. So first off, let's place our stuff how we like it. So we know that the sun is sort of coming in, it looks like from this side, it looks like. So what we want to do is start, taking these matte painting things and actually flipping things around, right? So you don't want to drag and drop it just like this. You want to use what's happening in the scene to make it look good, right? So here we're going to want to flip this on the x-axis. So easiest way to do that is to right-click on your image, go to Transform, flip horizontally, and then that will that will make the lighting make more sense in this scene. I also want to bring in this windmill here, and it's pretty big. And if you hit S on your keyboard, you can bring up the scaling, and then you can lower the percentage to make that fit better. And let's make sure that it's around that same point, right, in the Z axis. So it's about right around this line here. We're going to put that there. And we're maybe like put it there or something like that. That might be good. Maybe I'll scale it up a little bit more to make that look a bit better. And then this sheriff's office, I'm also gonna hit S on my keyboard and scale it up. And then you can see that this has this x-axis here has a negative value, and that's because it's flipped, which is pretty cool. So we play forward, and it doesn't track into the scene. So how do you make it track into the scene? Really easy. What you do is you select the things you want to track, and you hit Shift to like both of them. So if you shift select both of them, and then you're going to want to go to parent and link. And so there's this little swirly twirly bit. And if you can't find that, you might have to hit toggle switches and modes, and it will be there. And it's not this swirly twirly bit with like a little dot and a swirly thing. It's just a normal swirly bit next to this parent and link. So we want to swirly twirl this onto the null object we've created at the point where we want, like where it's placed properly. And now you can see that the parent and link has selected null 1. And of course you can do that by hand if you want. And now you can see that this stuff is tracked into the scene. So now we want to just like play around with the sizing and scaling if you want. But the thing that will make this look better is color correction. Let's try to make sure the color works. So let's go in here. And one of my favorite tools to use is tritone. So let's go on over to effects and presets and type in Triton. E. And let's do it to the windmill first. And it will make it sepia tone. And basically it's going, we're mapping the highlights to white, we're mapping the midtones to brown, and the shadows to black. So one of the easiest ways to do this is like go, okay, so the highlights, right? So the brightest thing that this could possibly be is like this color. So this is white in the background here. So we're going to select this white to be the highest brightness. And then the shadows would be this, probably this cloud formation here. That's probably as dark as it's going to get. And then the midtones, you just need to find a midtone. So it's probably somewhere along these lines in this sand. And if you hit control, that will make your eyedropper fatter, and that will average out a bigger area of color. And there we go. So that is that. So I did this while soloing the shot. Now, as you can see, it's not perfect, and you might have to play around with it just a bit. Even I think the highlights are a little too, they need to be a little brighter there. But what I like to do is just hit blend with original and just increase it a little bit, and that will make it feel a little bit better, right? Another thing we want to probably do is add a little bit of blur. So let's add, let's just do add fast box blur, which is the fastest blur, a la the name. And so you can see around it, this is pretty sharp and that's pretty dark, pretty blurry. So we're just going to increase that and kind of just by eye match the blurriness. And we can also add maybe a lumetri color to this image. And as you can see, it feels a little blue. So maybe we go to basic correction and increase the temperature to make it a little warmer. That's too warm. And then maybe lower the exposure just a hair. Too much. It's really by eye, like making it, and that looks pretty good right there. So now that we've done it to one, we can just duplicate it to the other because we've saved up, save some time. So we're just going to select the top one, select the bottom one, holding Shift, hit Control C or Command C, and then we're going to select the effects control panel and hit Control V or Command V onto your sheriff's one, and there we go. We have two shots that look, or two matte paintings that look pretty good in the world. So one last thing, add motion blur. Just go into toggle switches and modes and find this little ball with a couple balls behind it. Select this button here, and then that will enable motion blur in the comp here. And that will just make this look a lot better and more accurate to life because, you know, when things move around in cameras, it gets blurry. But the last thing we got to do is add the titular gun flash effect. So we got to kill this guy. So first thing we're going to do is bring in MI6 gun flare. So this is in our Ultimate Blockbuster drive as well. Please go check that out. It's great value, great deal. You get all of our stuff for on a hard drive, and then you get all updates for life for free, and it's awesome. But so everything that we've ever made's in it. But so I'm going to use this gun front smoke, and I'm going to add this on top of everything, including the roto, and I'm going to scale this down. Scale this down, and I'm going to move it. Remember, hit S on your keyboard, and you can scale it down. We're going to scale this down to here, put it right about where he shoots. I'm going to turn off the windmills for now, just for timing. This is how this is truly drag and drop. I just did that and boom, there it goes. And that's how you do it. That's how you make a awesome Western scene. Remember to like and subscribe and do all those things because it always helps us tremendously. Thank you so much. And remember to get our Worlds pack if you want some awesome matte paintings. All right, thanks.